Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Patronkast Plays Mortal Kombat X. I'm Razor, Chad and Smokeman are here, and this is our third episode of looking at costumes. This is the fashion review.
Installment III of IXIIMCMCXIVVVMVIC.
Shut up!
No.
Off the top of my head, I don't think that was grammatically correct for Roman numerals.
Grammatically collect?
Grammatically collect. That's
Look,
funny.
It's a bit of a tongue twister. This is not my fault. You did this, alright? You invited this evil into the house. So last episode, we got as far as Melina. So next would be Predator, but he's just what he looks like in the movies. So let's do Quan Chi.
We already talked about Predator enough last episode.
I guess we can already say the same thing about Alien then, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we skipped Alien.
It's a fucking xenomorph. What do you want from
us? It's a xenomorph with a couple of Baraka blades.
We looked at Jason because he wasn't that good and we wanted to bitch. And we looked at Leatherface because they did a cool thing with his variations.
Okay.
I don't really have that kind of stuff to say about Alien or Predator.
I don't even remember what their variations even are.
Well, Alien has a bunch of, like, he's got Tarkatan arm blades because, or she? I don't even know. They have Tarkatan arm blades because there's
Tarkatan arm blades, face huggers, and, just acid.
Well, what I remember is that one of the variations gives them the queen head, like it changes the head.
Yeah, but that's already
That is
enough.
a they, then. I was about to say it's a drone, so it's a dude, but if it has a queen head, who fucking knows?
Yeah. So, here's Quan.
Here's better things.
Yeah.
Oolay.
Nice.
I like it.
He showed that skull.
Yeah. So,
this is Quan Chi's, like, this is the first time he's had a new outfit since DA, really.
Yeah, because in Versus DC and 9, he just wears the Deadly Alliance outfit. So this is the first new outfit in, like, at the time it was 10, 20, hang on, 2002. It was almost 15 years.
And I don't count the 9 alt.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the Deadly Alliance outfit, but with a vest.
Yep.
So,
still rocking those tattoos that show him exactly where the undead army of Onaga is buried.
Well, see, that's technically the thing, is that these tattoos are different from the ones in Deadly Alliance.
Dun dun dun!
The circle ones on the shoulders are the same, and the fact that there's a gem in the, like, the crown of his face, the center of his forehead is the same. But like, one of the ways you could tell is that the Deadly Alliance tattoos had an extra row of red symbols along his temples, like, between the black stripe and his ear.
Indeed.
And, they actually, like, what I thought was interesting, actually, is that when they put his Deadly Alliance skin into MK12, they actually got the tattoos right.
Yeah, whenever I actually play that game,
Impressive.
I'm probably gonna be playing Quan Chi because of that outfit, because of those tattoos.
Yeah, I think they did, like, a goofy thing with his bandolier and the big red flame design on it, but everything else about that skin, I think they did a good job on.
The big try me button,
yeah, which
but,
is like if it
it's
weren't
not
for
ideal, but it's still probably the best, like, retro skin in that fucking game.
Yeah, I would almost go as far as to say it's the only good retro skin in that game, other than, like, the trilogy era ones.
I mean,
not the MK3 outfits.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the MK2 ninjas and Sector and Cyrax have good retros, like the cameos. But all of the, like Deadly Alliance Sub-Zero is absolutely fucked and unrecognizable.
it's atrocious.
It's
atrocious.
It's atrocitus, is what it is.
Yeah,
it does fill me with rage.
I mean, I kind of like Shang's DA retro.
Yeah, no, that
But-
one's
Yeah,
good
it's
too,
okay.
actually. That one's good, actually.
But back to Quan Chi.
Yeah, we should
in
talk
Mortal
about this
Kombat
game
X.
and what's
We
actually
should.
on the screen right now.
So what are these tattoos reveal? Is this his his grocery list, you think?
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know. These are
Milk,
more
eggs, butter.
because the thing is that the Deadly Alliance tattoos were actual writing, like they looked like letters in a foreign language. In fact, I remember when the game was revealed, when Deadly Alliance, Quan Chi was revealed for the first time on message boards, there were people trying to figure out what the letters on his arm spelled. And there was a guy whose screen name was FO''DEAH, faux de, because they thought that's what his arm said.
But how do we feel about this right here in front of us?
So, I think this, like, checkerboard pattern of belts is a little... like, it's not doing it for me. I think there's a better way to do this, but I like the idea of a bunch of, like, bondagey belts.
Once again, it's a little busy. Busy is the operative word.
Yeah, these, like, big spikes around his collar is a common thing since mythologies in MK4. These ones are a bit overdone, perhaps, a bit try-hard.
I think that there's no reason that he should have these things and not be using them in a fight. I don't know. Like, I prefer the multiple curved back half moon multiple. Did I say multiple
Right.
twice? I said multiple
Although,
times.
honestly, I will take these over the ones he has on his base custom in 12 that will just stab him in the ears.
I
Yeah.
don't even remember what that thing looks like.
It's like a
It's
horseshoe
terrible.
shape. It's not good.
It's directly pointing into his ears. If he turns his head at all, he loses his hearing.
Yeah,
Don't pay too
it's-
much attention to that game.
Well,
Yeah, you shouldn't.
speaking of, like, treating these big spikes realistically, I really enjoy that in story mode, when Scorpion cuts his head off, the sword cuts through the blades and shortens them, too. Like, they actually thought
Good
that it would
touch.
need to do that, instead of having it clip through.
I
It's
will
the little
say,
things.
most of this costume I don't really have much of an opinion on.
I think...
But I really do not like the skull here.
So there's a weird thing about this, like, skull that he's got strapped to his chest of, like, why is it there? What does it do? Which, Okay, so this makes his tattoos glow.
Too bright.
Now the skull is neon green and he's got arms strapped to his back.
Why though?
Yeah, that's the like, what is this doing for him? Is he drawing power on the skull? Now, the concept art says that this skull was taken from a vampire. It doesn't say, like, it doesn't name a specific vampire. Like, there are no famous vampires in Mortal Kombat other than Nitara, and it's probably not hers, because she's not dead, I guess. But, like... Why do you need a vampire skull? What magic does that grant you? There's no explanation.
I will say, I like the idea of the skull as it is in place, with like the blindfold over the head and whatnot, and only the nose and the jaw being visible. That's a cool idea in isolation.
Yeah, I think, like, if...
It's also a little bit Mad Max, unfortunately.
The thing
I know how
is-
you guys feel about that.
if there was, like, if this was Shinnok's skull, if Shinnok had died before, in the story, and Quan Chi took to wearing the skull for power, or if the skull belonged to Shao Kahn or something, like, if it was, like, a famous character who's had powerful magic, and Quan Chi was siphoning that magic by wearing this thing. But there's no story for it. There's no actual explanation for what it does and why he needs it, and... it does just kind of seem like...
It's there to look cool.
But that raises the question of, does it look cool? And I don't know that it does.
I don't think it does.
It's not doing it for me, honestly. You know, I actually do kind of like this variation making the blades, like, red hot. I think that's...
And his
kinda-
eyes.
Yeah, most of his variations affect his eyes. Like, this one's a little weird looking, to what it does to his eyes.
He's he's ready for a rave of some kind.
I think we'll just go with
Much
the default.
better.
I think
Thank
that looks
you.
best. I actually do kind of like it from the waist down. I wish that the blue they had chosen for his pants and these flames was the usual, like, teal greenish blue.
Yeah, that looked nice.
Is that blue?
It
You
is.
zoom
Yeah,
in.
it's
Yep,
really kind of hard to tell, especially
Oh,
on the
so it is.
pants because they're mostly in shadow. But his pants are dark blue rather than black.
I noticed the flames on the leather, but I never noticed the blue pants.
Yeah, I really
I
wish
bet
that
you
was
people watching this are noticing this blue for the first time.
possibly.
If you know Photoshop, please go into Photoshop and edit this to be Quan's usual teal.
Yeah. But I like the skull knee pads. The shin
The
guards.
boots and the knee pads are absolutely great. I love everything going on here.
Yeah, these ain't bad. This is pretty Quan Chi for me. This is what I expect from him, and it works. I just think that these belts being like in a checker shape is weird looking, and the skull is not doing it for me. And that's the only those are my only real complaints.
It's a couple of different things. It's the belts or the skull. Minimize the belts, put the skull into stronger focus, center it a little bit.
I think if the belts
Pick
were
something.
crisscrossing more diagonally instead of like straight vertical and horizontal, that would be better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the other thing is just like, why do we have to keep getting him with like shirtlessness? Why? Because my ideal Quan Chi is the one I was first introduced to, where he was fully clothed, and it set him apart from other MK characters. Because, as I've said before about, like, Raiden, when I was complaining about his being sleeveless in versus DC Universe, there are so few characters in Mortal Kombat who don't go shirtless that, like, when you meet a dude who has, like, a full long-sleeve shirt on, it makes them stand out, and it says, this guy's less of a fighter and more of, like, a something else, like a wizard or the brains of the operation kind of guy. He's less physical, less gets his own hands dirty, and more the kind of person who, you know, can afford to not be dressed for athletics. And I think that's more interesting than Quan always being out here like Conan the Barbarian. Because he's supposed to be intelligent and sophisticated and a powerful wizard, right?
Skull's no substitute for a good yin-yang symbol.
Yeah.
If there's one person aside from Goro and his belt I associate with having a big old yin-yang on, it's this guy.
There is that too. But let's...
The yin-yang doesn't even necessarily make sense for Quan, but it just feels right.
Well, it kind of speaks to, like... Because, like,
it's about the mythology of the universe.
The Chinese origins of, like, what his name means, the words Quan and Chi, and also, like, there's a philosophical aspect of, like, the magic that he wields, and light and darkness, and heaven and hell, and all... Like, it says so... I don't know what it says, but it says something.
And
anyway.
Because we need variations, we need to keep the skull here.
Yeah, he's got to still have the skull. Well,
Better
not necessarily.
spikes,
Not necessarily,
but somehow
because
now he looks more naked.
These are better spikes. Like, I like these shoulder pads. This outfit reminds me more of, like, Deadly Alliance and, like, the stuff he traditionally wears, because it's a little more, Well, honestly, these shoulder pads are pretty much literally the one he has on in Deadly Alliance, but now there's two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the red gem on the back where they meet.
Oh, yeah.
That.
Yeah, that's great. I love that
It looks
detail.
nice.
Did not notice that before.
Also, we've got a proper bluish-green color for his belt, and his pants are kind of...
Pops.
His pants are kind of desaturated because it's MKX, but whatever. They're trying a little harder, I guess, than in the primary.
Big old codpiece.
Yes, he does have He is dressed to put on a performance. He's gonna get on stage with Kiss. That's
Also, Zach from DOA.
What I expect of a Nether Realmer that is the proper aesthetic.
I like these boots too.
Yeah, these boots are alright. These boots are nice. Medieval, but also like evil wizardy. I think the knee pads are a little busy for me. I would maybe have
They're a
done,
little generic.
yeah, more of a design that I don't know, something graphic designy that says Quan Chi as opposed to something that could be on anybody and not mean anything.
Maybe
Two
if they were
yin
just-
yangs.
Maybe they were just a little bit more, I don't know, demonic in motif and shape, because I can actually see
Yeah.
someone kneeling down in these as opposed to on skulls.
Yeah, you know, the thing is that they're, like, you wouldn't have to change them much, and you'd have, like, the demon face or pentagram shape of the Netherrealm Kami Dogu.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah, that would be a little more iconic and recognizable than what we've got here. But yeah,
No.
otherwise...
Two yin yangs. One for each knee.
I don't like it.
This is what we're stuck with here. This is the unfortunate part.
And the less busyness draws more attention to the glowing skull, which if you look at it straight forward, looks like an arrow pointing up.
Oh my god, you're right.
Yin Yang goes here, or used to.
You know what this specific shade of green reminds me of is like Slimer. You know, like it's very Ghostbusters to me.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, I'm still digging the like red hot metal. Like it reminds me of like Bayformer's Optimus, the sword that comes out of his hand, superheated.
That's what I want to think about, Bayformers.
Yeah.
I don't know,
That's
like
cool.
Those movies have shooters now, Shad. How do you
for
feel about that?
I'm in the wrong timeline.
for whatever downsides the Michael Bay movies may bring, I do actually
So many.
like the red hot metal sword. I think that's cool.
I mean, it all comes from, like, the first episode and, like, the axe he spews out
Yeah.
of energy on Hoover Dam.
Yeah, in G1 he has an axe hand. So yeah, I think this Quan is better than the primary in a couple key ways, which is interesting because it's mostly almost the same costume. It's like the same costume, but everything I don't like about that one is better in this one except the skull.
Yeah.
You know, like the belts are not like a checker pattern. They look more natural and like the aesthetic. They
It's got the leather armor dangling from his hips.
yeah, it's the same like 3 layers of hip armor, but you know, the blue is a proper bluish green. I do wish it was more saturated in the pants, but that's MKX for you. The shoulder spikes are more familiar and less of a needlessly edgy, jagged shape.
He's wearing only one bicep strap, and it looks to be more patterned and an actual decoration as opposed to the prior ones, which were just typical straps.
Yeah. There's an interesting thing of, like, in the story mode, this outfit is the one he was wearing during, like, the MK4 flashbacks of, like, Shinnok's attack. And the other outfit is the one he's wearing in the present day, where he's, like, Shinnok is gone, so he's less powerful and, like, almost on the run, you know, like, they started out somewhere in a cave and they rode their horses to reclaim his laboratory, and then Jax got there and beat him up. So I like this outfit though looks more scavenger than the primary, so it's almost like they're wearing, like they should have flipped them when each one appears in the story.
Yeah.
It's good. It's sort of an answer to the MK4 outfit redesigned, but it just makes me wish he was wearing an undershirt more than the primary does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a solution.
Holy
Ah,
fucking
the only
shit.
outfit I ever wore with him.
Now we're talking. Yeah, once this one came out, this is the only Quan Chi I used.
Same.
It looks so fucking good, you know?
Oh, nail it. Nailed it. Right out
They
of the
did
park.
except for like they had to add the tattoos because obviously it's got to do this.
Yep.
If it weren't for that, it'd be perfect.
But you know what? That's
Which
a
is like,
reasonable.
you
That's
know-
a reasonable sacrifice.
But you know what?
And it's subtle enough that it actually functions well.
I kind of like the way they did it on the sleeves.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it actually like looks like a neat addition to this costume. Like I kind of buy it. Like
I really dig how the yin yang symbol itself is actually set in this kind of red material.
yeah, there's always been
Like
like,
it's
a
jewel mounted or something.
yeah.
I mean, that's kind of always been there. The red outline to the.
Yeah, so
Has it been red? I don't remember
yeah,
right now.
yeah. So like as far as accuracy goes, everything about this outfit is right except for two like small details. This belt should be brown instead of red. And the waistcoat is supposed to have more belts like stretching across his crotch, and they removed those.
Probably
They
so you
had
could do
an
high
opportunity
kicks.
to give him more belts and didn't?
Yeah, right?
Is
Yeah.
this MKX?
But yeah, otherwise, everything about this, and, you know, other than the tattoos on the arms and head, is, like, they did a good job. Like, it's much better compared to, like, the MK3 Kung Lao being super inaccurate all over the place. So yeah, this is, you know, they got this one right. And I'm a big fan.
Me too.
See, you don't need the vampire skull on the chest.
Wow, that's amazing.
You don't
And
like they
that's
didn't even do like a thing where like you'd expect them to have made the yin yang glow green, right? They didn't. They had some restraint. They realized that everybody can see the hands on his back. You don't need two things. And there's this one. Which I'm still kind of digging the hot metal. Still kind of digging it. Also, it kind of like makes his yin yang darker. That's interesting.
Wait, go back to it. Is it making the red on there glow?
Maybe a little? I think it's actually just picking up the glow off of the blades.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah, but the yin yang is like differently textured, like it's less shiny.
Yeah, interesting.
That's curious.
You know, I'm surprised they didn't for the Warlock one. They didn't make the red on the chest green instead.
Mm-hmm. But again, they showed some restraint, which is rare with the variations in this game. I wonder if it was like a lesson learned kind of thing, because this is a DLC skin, so it's like the game came out, and people said, "Oh, these variation things are too gaudish and garish." Gaudy and garish.
We're on a roll tonight, huh?
Look, shut up.
You can't make me.
You're right, I have no power over you. But yeah, there's like... I feel like as the DLC costumes were coming out, they toned some things down in that department as like a response to complaints. Which is the kind of thing I like to see. You know...
It is much less Gary.
It's...
Not letting it go anytime soon.
It's alright. Look how Gary this is.
Fuck's sake, Gary! Gary Chi.
I don't trust anyone named Gary.
Kombat needs a Gary.
I knew one or two Garys growing up. Total jerks. Go with that feeling. Don't trust them. Anyway. Here's Raiden.
Raiden. First thing I want to know from you guys is what do you think about the hat? Because
Yeah,
the hat
this-
makes the man.
This
I
is
don't hate it, I guess.
this is the first game in the series where they gave the hat like the slats so the light can come in. Like-
Slats.
Like in Big Trouble. And I'm not a fan because it throws off the shadow that crossover, you know, the iconic look of Raiden is that the shadow over his face from the hat is like supposed to be super dark to make his glowing eyes stand out. And now we've got stripes of light coming in, and it just kind of breaks it up.
It would be cool. Like I'm envisioning an arcade version of Raiden, MK2 style, that has subtle light slat effects over his eyes, and it would look good. The thing is, what's always held this entire thing back is like 3D Raiden and the necessity of the cowl being all visible because of the nature of the beast. I can see a version of this in concept art or hand drawn where the slats give off that light effect and it looks great. I can picture it. But it's never going to look right on 3D models like this. It just can't. Unless you're pulling off miracles with the shadowing system.
Mm.
I like the design on the V here.
Yeah, the gold, like, wind and cloud patterns are a nice addition. I think that looks pretty good, actually.
I feel like he needs to lose the belt rope.
I'm okay with the belt rope. Because he's
I
had,
don't know,
like...
I think it's that one detail too many.
Well, it's like the only thing left in his design that harkens back to, like, 95 Raiden, where the outfit was, he's trying to disguise himself as a peasant. You know, there's so much gold trim on him now. There's so much, like, fanciness and pomp and circumstance and worship me, I am a god, that we've lost a lot of the, like, there was a humility about him that's sort of not there anymore, and the rope is like the last vestige of that.
See, at this point, though, with everything else and all that visible pomp, the rope seems superfluous. Like, we've kind of crossed the Rubicon.
I can get that.
There's just so much going on, there's nothing left of, like, the simple beggar.
It's just, for me, instead of getting rid of the rope, I would get rid of some of this decor. Like, I don't need the wrist and shin guards to have so much design on them. That's one thing that I would tone back.
I'm not a big fan of the loincloth having these two extra little, like, dangly bits on the sides.
Yeah.
That's a bit much. I do really love that wind and, like, mountain pattern. That's nice.
Yeah, that's convenient. It is other than the addition of, like, the patterns. This is pretty much a classic, like, MK4, MK9 Raiden. So there's not really a lot of, like, they didn't fuck it up, you know? It's
an alright costume.
It's
okay.
It's a good, solid Raiden. I'm perfectly okay with it.
Yep, that's him.
Can you zoom in on his face while he does that?
Yeah.
Do it again.
I'm working on it. Yeah, see, I don't like
Blackjawed.
I said last episode, I don't like how this game did teeth. Everybody looks kind of weird when they open their mouths.
Ew.
But I'll tell you one thing I do appreciate is that they gave him white eyebrows.
Yeah.
Because you so rarely get to see his hair anymore. At least they remember what color it's supposed to be, you know?
We are at a point now where I'm looking at Raiden, and he has no pupils, and I'm like, thank God they didn't somehow give Raiden pupils.
Well, the thing is, like, what they did with the lighting in his eyes is that the blue is concentrated to a circle in the middle like a pupil. So when he's looking in a direction in story mode, you can tell what direction he's looking in. And it's kind of creepy and off-putting. I don't like it. I would rather just one solid glowing ball for an eyeball, you know?
Alright, next.
Next one. We talked about this one enough in story mode. This is way too bare bones.
Your mom is too bare bones.
You know what?
I'm still thirsty.
Okay, so this puts lightning around his hands.
This
one puts lightning all over his body.
I don't know if that sucked or I liked it.
I do kind of like the waves passing up him. Like it reminds me of his teleporting.
cool.
tower.
Oh, that is good.
I
Yes.
never even fucking noticed that.
Yeah, that's
I'd
actually,
forgotten about this.
That's pretty sick, actually. Nah.
I could just stare
Third
at
one adds lightning and
it. A
glowing
lightning
runes.
hat.
Yeah, the
And
hat.
Tron runes.
This is not.
Please make it go away.
What
I
does
don't
that?
like
what
it.
are these symbols even? Like what
Can
language
we-
is
I
that?
don't care. Go back to the teleport effect. It was so good.
Yeah, we'll stay on this one. This is good. But yeah, so I think like we did. I do feel that the MK1 outfit is too plain. Even in a world of other retro skins, I've always kind of not liked MK1 Raiden as much as other costumes.
It's too plain.
If I was going to have a retro for Raiden, it would be MK2.
Yeah.
That's just me. But I want to speak... So there's an inaccuracy as well. In MK1, the wrappings on his wrists and shins were white, not black. Or this isn't even black, this is dark blue.
I mean, you can barely even tell because of the desaturation.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a special place in my heart for MK1 Raiden, as much as there is for MK2. In a perfect world, you could just take the blue vest on and off and have either as you see fit.
Sure. Like, if there was, like, some kind of gear system, which I'm normally against, but if you were using it for that kind of purpose, it would be okay.
You get people who want to have, like, the MK2 ninjas and the UMK3 ninjas. That's how I am with pretty much every trilogy-era outfit. I'll never say no to a single one of them.
Ugh.
Stop it.
If he didn't just hinge his jaw off to the left,
Yeah, why
you know?
why is he doing like that Sylvester Stallone slur when
Sylvester Stallone slur.
The other thing I want to point out is this fucking the ring on the underside of his hat that holds it to his cowl.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Oh god.
Yeah, I mean it's on all of his costumes, and you can really see it in story mode when his hat gets knocked off his head and he puts it back on, and it's like
you really don't need that bottommost one. Like the rest
you don't
of it
need
will just be fine.
you don't need any of it. You don't need any of it.
I
don't want to know. Listen to me. I don't want to know how his hat stays on. Just tell me that it does. I don't need the ring or a drawstring around his chin. I don't need anything. Just it sticks to the cowl with electromagnetism. How about that?
It's a lightning hat.
I have one of these hats, and that's how it stays on your head.
Okay, yeah, I own one too, and that's how it works. It's fucking magnets, bro.
I will give a mild criticism, and that's that the fabric on the undershirt, such that it's visible, looks too rubbery and should be more fabricy.
Yeah, I mean it's a tight leather because his cowl.
I know.
That's what they decided it should be.
Ugh, fucking boring. I'm yawning over here. Next skin.
Your mom and her.
So this is this game's version of Dark Raiden. Every game has one now.
Hey Razor.
Yeah.
What am I doing? I'm hunting elk for their huge antlers.
You know what? His hat had antlers in Deception 2, and there was a reason for it in that game. Because there's story stuff in Conquest mode to imply that Raiden's descent into darkness is supposed to directly parallel Shao Kahn going from advisor to stealing the throne of Outworld for himself, betraying Onaga. Like, Raiden is on the same path that made Shao Kahn a bad guy. So he's got elements of Shao Kahn in his outfit.
I would not have chosen the fucking horns and put them on the tip of the hat. Not then, not now. It's always bothered me. I can't stand it.
You know, I'm sorry you're not perfect.
I kind of like it, actually. But here's the thing.
I'm sorry that you don't like good costumes.
I do, though.
You really don't.
Okay.
Look, I have a point here. Is that clearly they should have made the hat really tall because he's mirroring Shinnok now.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Is that in this game, he has nothing to do with Shao Kahn's fall. Instead, he turned dark because he absorbed evil energy of Shinnok out of the Jinsei. So this outfit is designed to have elements of Shinnok in it. You can especially see it in the belt and the loincloth. Like, it's... like, the waist area is very Shinnok-y. And, like, the fact that his skin is paler and closer to Shinnok's white skin tone.
Oh god, he's got nails.
Yeah, he's got fucking fingernails.
They've all got nails when they're
pointy
in hell.
Fucking... What are we even doing with this?
We have such manicures to show you.
He's wearing the amulet. He's so... It's so hard to design a Dark Raiden outfit that
Zoom in
looks
on the
good,
belt.
because
there is that suggestion of Shinnok's
yeah,
crown shape.
yeah,
going
and
on
like
right there, dead center.
Kinda, yeah.
Shinnok had like green gems on all his stuff, so Raiden has that too. But I think my problem is that Dark Raiden outfits, like, what my brain wants a Dark Raiden outfit to be is like MK2 Raiden, but in the dark colors. And instead, every Dark Raiden outfit is more armored and like warlike, which I get it, but it's not really doing it for me. And in particular, what I don't like about this one is these shoulder pads.
Yeah.
I think they look kind of
stick out like a sore thumb.
yeah, they're kind of awkward and don't fit with the rest of the outfit in some
They
way.
didn't need to be doubled. If they were singular, it would work a lot better.
I think it's the shape they chose doesn't necessarily go well with everything else he's wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Like a different kind of shoulder pad would have been fine. And I think the 11 Dark Raiden is probably a bit better than this one.
Yeah, I agree.
I also like this, like the sash that's holding the amulet on. It feels like it should have been a cape instead.
I mean, you just want it to be Deception Dark Raiden that badly.
Well, it's just that, you know, you've got this thing tied around his armpit onto his back, and it just kind of does nothing except pin to the amulet. Like, it's purely decorative, and I wish it were something functional. You know?
I don't hate this outfit. It's not perfect.
I think the shirt is fine, although the short sleeves over top of long sleeves is a little weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, the pants are fine, the shin guards are working for me. I don't really have any complaints about the gauntlets. The Shinnok-themed waist stuff, like, I get it, it makes sense. But yeah, it's just this, like, I wish the sash were a cape, and I wish these shoulder pads were different. That's the only thing. Although I do
Kill the
think
antlers and I'm good.
I do think it's weird that they went with yellow eyes instead of red.
Well, it also needs a really, really, really tall hat.
It's almost like he's like halfway to evil, like he's not fully dark yet, and that like his eyes will be red later.
Well, I think that's probably intentional. Like, when you look at this character, they want you to believe that there's still some good in him, Anakin. There's still some good in him.
I don't know.
That's the
I
point.
don't think that's what they're going for.
Because the thing is, whatever they're going for, they're going to abandon it in the first 5 minutes of the next game.
Well, we didn't know
Yeah.
that at that point.
We could have suspected.
Yeah, but it'd be a lot funnier if we
Dark
pretended-
We
Raiden.
had the fact that we didn't. Means we had faith. Then we did.
Dark Raiden has been a skin in 6 games now, and a actual plot point in 0 of them.
It's awesome.
Anyway. Now there's this
Oh,
crap.
Jesus fucking Christ.
This is
Dog
a-
shit. Next
Halloween
costume.
next costume.
I just want-
next
what-
skin.
I really want... Why the goatee?
We have so much to get through. Why are we looking at it?
I just want to take a moment to ask, why the goatee?
Oh god, his ears.
I have no answers for you.
I know, there are no answers to be found. This is a nightmare. This
chips
is
while you do that.
disgusting. I don't... What were they fucking thinking, man?
Tron.
Did Tron Legacy come out at this point?
The Tron outfits
No.
look so much better than that. That's such a bad version of Tron. Anyway, here's
Hey, it's
Reptile.
Reptile. I'll stop eating now.
I like this costume.
Splort.
Slime. Force ball slime.
Not out of his mouth.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have to puke in his hands to make a force ball, because that would be stupid and gross.
I like the Bone V.
I always have to.
The Bone V is alright. I think this costume is mostly cool, but I wish it was a little more colorful. Like, and I get that was kind of the point, is that they went, well, now that he has green skin, putting green on his V is too much green, but I disagree.
Again, this is largely an MKX problem.
Yeah.
This was the one that they used in the animated movies, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked good there.
Yeah.
From what I'm
I
remembering.
mean, you have to simplify things for animation, so a lot of the busier parts were not so busy anymore.
The cloth underneath the bones are blue here.
Yeah, it is like a dark blue, isn't it?
I also really like the shape of his cowl.
I
Very
think-
interesting skull he's got going on, too.
Yeah, I think it's kind of weird that they put his eyes further apart and more like on the sides of his head.
I mean,
almost makes him
lizards,
look,
right?
wall-eyed and shit.
I like the texture on his shoulders here.
The variation takes off the mask.
And he's scarier without it on.
I don't know about the pattern of his scales on his upper lip. Something seems weird and off about it to me. I've never
It looks like human teeth.
It's unsettling, and I kind of like it.
It looks less like lizard scales and more like the bark of a tree to me. You know what I mean? What is Nimble?
I think the only thing
he's
that really
wearing a
bothers me
snake
about
now.
Oh, it goes through the eye holes of the deception
yeah.
buckle here, or Deadly Alliance buckle.
It wraps around and keeps moving.
Yeah. Cute little pet snake in a battle with him.
It's awesome.
I think the only thing that actually bugs me about this is the bicep wraps.
Hmm.
Like, because of the horns, I don't know. I feel like they should be almost higher. Maybe.
I could see that. They do...
I don't know if the teeth on them are working for me. I think that's maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah, I think the whole plate might be unnecessary, honestly. I don't know.
Bare-chested reptile?
I don't hate it, but I could take it or leave it. The plates on his biceps.
Okay.
And then this one has flies buzzing around him because he smells
stinky.
bad. Yeah.
He's
The reptile in his
bad.
natural state.
Belongs in a trash can. Let's go back to nothing at all.
Did you even do the other ones?
Yes, the maskless and a snake belt.
Was that it?
3 variations. How many
I'm
did you
drinking.
think there were?
I don't know. I got
Uh,
checked out tonight.
all right. Yeah, I'm okay with the bone vest and everything. This works for me.
Zoom in on the skull more. It's gone now.
Yeah. So here's
Ah,
his outfit. I think.
Because of the MKX comic, every time I look at this, every fucking time I think of Chameleon. Because they didn't color that fucking one panel.
Yeah.
The big panel where he first shows up in this outfit.
I don't know what to think about this one.
So I'll say one thing.
Do I think about this one?
I like the cowl better, but the mask is worse.
We didn't spend enough time
let's do
talking
away
about how
with that.
awesome that first mask is. It looks better without the mask.
So the thing is, I have things to say about the mask that we'll get to in a future skin. Because it's the same one, but better colored. But yeah, I like the shoulder pads, actually, these green plates. Like, they've got this, like, shininess to them, where it's like the light is picking up colors. And it's kind of a dynamic, metallic effect, like almost pearlescence. And I do enjoy when they do the, like, those, like, unique metallic sheens on things. Like, we talked about that with some of the Versus DC costumes. I like when they get fancy with those. I'm not a fan of shirtless Reptile with a bunch of belts. I could do without that.
See, this is the thing of it. Like, my problem with this thing is that it looks like he was putting on parts of a ninja outfit and just stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I need the whole
you
V
can
effect.
fucking see
It's
it,
on
too.
the-
There's a V that starts and then stops, yeah.
It's
Okay,
on the
so
back.
this is-
Rotate him backwise.
This is called his tournament outfit, so this is what he was supposed to be wearing in 9?
There's more of the rest of it.
Yeah. This is what they've rebooted or reimagined his tube top outfit as. This is replacing 9. And I fucking despise that tube top outfit, so I will take this over that. But it would be really nice if we could just have not shirtless reptiles in general. Like, always the Ninja V would be the better thing to do.
I'm a model. You know what I mean.
The, from the waist down, it looks great. This is perfectly fine belt. We've got a ninja flap. We've got some
What does
utility
Reptile
pockets.
carry in pouches? What does Reptile carry around?
Money, maybe?
Reptile doesn't
He
have
doesn't
any
get
money.
What are you talking about? Did he try to sadly stitch himself like a tail pattern or... This looks like an attempt at something gone wrong.
Yeah, he was trying to carve a design into it, and it made it fucked up the structural integrity, so he had to put it back together.
Oh, you poor bastard. I like this detail. This is good.
Yeah, that's neat. I like these shin guards. These are sort of...
Yeah.
They could totally fit in with anything from the original trilogy. You know, this is a nice, clean aesthetic. These are very simplistic, and yet they fit like Reptile's like scrounged together and big stitches holding things on approach. I think it's interesting that this game... Is this the first time Reptile's feet have a dew claw?
Yep, I believe so.
That's a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
maybe... I don't know, maybe Shaolin monks?
Maybe. Can't remember.
I'm gonna Google it.
But yeah, there's a nice plain black pants. Some wrappings around the shins underneath the shin guards. This is all very nice. This is not busy to the point of, like, distraction. It works. I do question what he keeps in his pouches, but... maybe it's snake food. Maybe it's, like, he's got mice in there to feed his little snake.
Or his big snake.
I don't want to talk about Reptile's big snake.
He had a very large snake in Shaolin monks. What do you think I'm talking about? No, he did not actually have a dew claw in that game.
Okay.
First time.
Alright. So yeah,
Fuck you, Shad.
No.
From the waist down, we're doing great. I could do with a shirt. That's my review of this outfit.
Yeah.
Well, that and this mask kind of sucks compared to the Primary's mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
I'm not a, I don't like it.
It's like the extra row of plates at the nose area is throwing the whole thing off for me. It's
There's
like
also the fact that, like, the original...
jagged.
There's something really aesthetically pleasing about the Primary, because it looks like it fits together really seamlessly. And while, like, the patchwork look totally suits Reptile, here it's like... not quite, you know?
It's like...
The utility's not there.
When you do it with, like, the armor on his face... It's just, it's sort of creating this illusion that he has multiple mouths. It's just really off-putting, especially like from a distance.
Also, did he steal some of Ermac's bandages?
Probably. Don't worry about it. The man has no money, remember? His pockets are empty. There's nothing in those pouches. Maybe
just
some
lint.
mice. Just maybe some mice. The mice are probably dead.
Couple of dead cockroaches.
Yeah. Okay, so Halloween costume.
Release
Creature
the
fr-
Kraken.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Functional. Much better.
So as
He
I've
did not need that
said,
shit on his eyes.
like I don't particularly care for Halloween outfits, but if this were like just a separate Outworld species and not a reptile skin, I think it looks pretty cool, and I could totally go for like a creature from the Black Lagoon as an actual MK character. I think it would fit in fine.
I think you could throw the entire, like, concept in as a background Outworld species. It'd be
Who's the Darkstalker's character?
Requel.
Yeah. Strangely
Okay.
attractive for a fish man.
Requel all bath.
Alright, and finally...
Excellent.
Now see, I like the primary mask, but in this shade of green, I love the primary's mask. This mask. This is a good mask. I could totally see this mask on actual UMK3 Reptile. Go back to 1995 and add it in there.
It works so well for, like, the purposes of spitting acid and functionality as a mask.
And the nice thing is that by having this mask, we don't have to look at that shitty mask from Classic Sub-Zero that they put on all the other Ninja retros.
Unfortunately,
I agree.
Also, like, just the theme of, like, UMK3 outfit on a scaly green reptile reminds me of his, Mortal Kombat 4 alternate costume. And that is my preference for Reptile. Like, I have never been a human reptile guy. I don't give a fuck about him having, like, flesh for skin. My reptile looks like this.
All of Shao Kahn's goons should be wearing the UMK3 outfit. That's what I say.
If I could, I would totally go back into, like, MK1, 2, and 3 and, like, color his skin like a Ninja Turtle greenish brown.
You'd be right to do so.
I agree.
Yeah.
We've talked already, unfortunately, about the kind of rubbery problem that the MK
Yeah,
outfits have in this game.
We've talked enough about that.
We have. We talked about that with Ermac. So
you can really, like, Ermac was in a pose where his arms were crossed over his chest, but here you can really see that the squares are the wrong sizes, and it just fucking sucks.
What's going on with his right arm? It's twisted at a weird angle.
Yeah, it's, you know what, 3D graphics.
You'll get that on character models sometimes.
It'd be like it do.
Do it, though? Do it, Reby?
Sometimes.
Greg?
Sometimes it do.
Gary?
Alright.
Oh, boy. Let's start.
Actually,
Covered in scorpions.
I want to start here.
Let's cover the scorpions.
Because we didn't talk about it that much when we were playing 9. We didn't, like, go over every costume in 9. I fucking hate this outfit. I don't think I've ever hated a scorpion outfit more than I hate this one. And the reason is... What the fuck is this in the center of his chest? What is going on with the black material?
This cancerous shit
This
on his
fucking...
sternum.
Yeah, it's supposed to look like insect chitin, but instead, it looks like tumors. It looks
He's
like...
covered in scorpions.
It looks like he was wearing leather that somehow the leather got cancer. And it's... And then there's, like, these jagged designs on his yellow V that are supposed to be, I guess, fire, but that's not a good fire design. It's more like
that's
spikes.
Not what fire looks like.
That's not what fire looks like. That's just spikes. This sucks. I kind of like the belt all right, but, like, then you've got, like, his gauntlets here. And his gauntlets have these stupid rings in the elbows, the inside of the forearm, that, like, were on his... Remember when we were talking about MK versus DCU and the concept art? These rings were some kind of coil so that his spear was a grappling hook gun in his wrist?
Yeah.
And they decided not to do that, but aesthetically, the coils are still on the costume. Like, get rid of it. It sucks. Why does he have these big metal bolts?
All I gotta say is...
Like, this side of the gauntlet looks cool, but everything on the inside here is just a mess. And
all I gotta
just
say is, you
look at
know
these
that when
big
the...
cartoon scorpion stingers on his shoulder pads.
You see,
You know when the MK
it's-
animated movies adapt basically every single MKX out, and they take, like, the Bruce Timm-esque version for his outfit?
Yeah.
Tells you all you need to know.
It's so busy, and like there's bits of this like the sternum crap that look more like a robot. Like his collarbone and the muscles of his neck are these segmented plates and shit. They remind me of Sector, you know?
I want to go back to the shoulder pads because unlike in this game, the swords on his back in 9 are also stingers.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got 4. Yeah, it's not in this game.
These are not the swords he had in 9. No, the ones
handle,
he had in 9 had cartoon scorpions for handle.
They had fucking scorpion stingers for handles, which honestly look bad for like grabbing on to. But like the fact that it's just like in that area, in your eyesight, you're going to be seeing 4 scorpion stingers. It's like, do you get that his name is Scorpion?
You know what I actually don't get about the shoulder pads?
What's that?
Assuming he actually swung at this guy with a sword, and he hit his shoulder pads. All those shoulder pads really do with scorpion extensions on the external bits is they keep the sword near his head.
Yeah, like the curve of them would ensure that if you...
Someone fast enough would be like, oh, whoops, thunk.
Yeah, they'd
opposite direction I go.
If your sword hit his shoulder pad, the curve of the shoulder pad would guide your sword towards his neck, making him easier to decapitate.
But scorpion tails are curved, guys. They're curved upwards like that.
It's so
Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you understand? Do you know what it's referencing? Also, I have always fucking hated...
Crab battle!
I hated the fucking, like... I don't know what the fuck those things are that goes, like, from the top of the head to the back.
Oh, like the spine pattern?
Yeah, what the fuck? I hate how it looks. This, like... I don't know. Fucking...
It's too much. And the thing... This outfit was supposed to be... the reboot's version of what he wears during MK1, 2, and 3. That is not the appropriate time to design a new Scorpion outfit from scratch that's the busiest thing he's ever worn. That's the wrong time for it.
In MK9, they did a lot of asset reuse. Baraka's face, Kano's face.
Mm-hmm.
They should have just reused Scorpion's MK versus DC model verbatim.
Yeah, we've said that a lot. The versus DC outfit should have been, like, it looks like an MK2 outfit, but, like, up-resed. So yeah, they should have just used that instead of making a new costume.
Look how they made the MK2 commercial mask worse.
You know what I think is interesting?
That's a question.
Yeah?
What does a bicep wrap do?
It makes your veins pop. It makes you look more ripped.
Is this accomplishing that?
Kind of.
I guess.
I don't know. Like, I'm not the ultimate
Is this
warrior.
A good bicep
I don't know.
I more and more I have questions about bicep wraps, and this is not a NetherRealm Studios problem. Just like, why do we have them?
I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not the fucking British Bulldog.
If you know what a bicep wrap's functional purpose is, tell us in the comments. I'd love to know.
Go down to the shin guards. I hate them. Ew.
I don't mind them.
Tell us more.
I don't mind the shoes.
The shoes are fine. The shin guards I hate.
The shin guards feel like they're the same ones he was wearing in versus DC, but made spikier and cartoonier and dumber.
Is that it?
I think. Well, I had one last thing I wanted to say, which is I think it's ironic. So Scorpion is the first character in this franchise who's, like, returned from the grave, right? He is the first undead, because he was undead in the very first game. So, why is it that when other characters become undead, they immediately give them, like, desaturated gray skin? Like, Ermac, all of a sudden, has to be black and white all the time. Like, his skin can't have any color in it. He has to be, like, maximum zombie. But Scorpion has the darkest tan of anyone in this fucking franchise.
It's because he's burning.
See, he's allowed to be, like, hot.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, literally sunburnt, not fucking attractive hot, but, like, warm hot. But nobody else who's undead is allowed to be, like, colorful. Everybody else has to have all the color drained out of their skin, but he gets to still look like this. I just think that's weird.
I mean, zombies, wraiths, Hellfire Spectre. Those things kind of lend themselves to their schemes.
I do think they did a good job with the white eyes here, because he's got, like almost a bloodshot, like, pinkishness at the corners of them. But it's still... And they're not glowing, it's, like, cataracty. It's milky white. These are pretty good undead eyes. I wish other characters who are supposed to have white eyes had these.
True.
So yeah, now let's go to the primary, because this is the improvement. This is much better than what we had in 9.
I don't love this outfit, like, right now. But when I first saw this for the first time in the reveal trailer, I fucking loved it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was a huge relief to have an outfit that looked like ninja clothing instead of leather cancer.
This is much better, yes.
Yeah. But in retrospect, this is still very busy. Like, there's a billion belts. This is the Squall Leonhard of ninjas.
This is the Death Note creator version of all the fucking Belmont's Castlevania Judgment.
It's too many belts. Everything about this outfit is great, except there's too many fucking belts.
Zoom in on the actual belt, the main belt. Enhance.
Yeah,
Enhance! Why is it off center?
I don't know. That is like the biggest belt buckle I've ever seen in my life.
Is it supposed to be like that?
I believe so.
I've never really noticed it before.
I have to imagine they did that on purpose.
Why?
Because they felt like it. Somebody, like, oh, if you put something slightly off-center, it's more aesthetic. I don't know. This
would just be such a better outfit by just clipping off all these belt buckles.
Yeah. What is...
Just one by one. Snip, 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 snip.
Hold on. What is this, like, round metal thing underneath the middle belt buckle there?
I don't know what that is.
That's weird. I never noticed that before. That's awkward. I like how he's got, like, it's asymmetrical. His bicep has one belt on one side and 2 belts on the other.
Why?
And then for some reason,
they're joined.
They're attached to each other.
Why? What do they do?
So many belts. Okay, I'll tell you one. The belts is a thing, but I have one actual, like, major complaint about this outfit. And it's that his mask looks like a bird beak.
You know what? I don't think it would be as bad if it wasn't so gold. The goldness of it gives it this kind of...
I actually really like the gold. Like, it's so rare to have a saturated color in this game, you know? This is
I guess, but I want Scorpion to be yellow and...
I don't know. I like gold on Scorpion. I think it's easier to justify gold on a ninja than it is why does he wear, like, canary yellow?
He's never been canary yellow.
It's pretty yellow.
No. A few shades darker than maybe.
It's close. It's not exactly canary. The other thing is, like, so traditionally, like, most Scorpion masks are supposed to look like a skull. You know, he's supposed to have, like, some indentations where the nose holes would be, and some, like, something that is clearly teeth. This one has no nose holes, and the things that look like teeth are where his nose would be. It's so awkward looking. It looks like a fucking bird beak. It's so fucking weird. So yeah, I've never liked this mask, but otherwise, I think this is a pretty good outfit.
Lose the belts and we're talking. He's on fire.
Very, very ashen. Very... Okay. Let's... The next outfit, which is Human Hanzo. Oh, and we should probably... Yeah, variations. That adds the swords. That has sparks coming from his hands. This is actually super...
Embers.
Yeah.
Embers coming from his hands.
This is surprisingly understated for a variation marker. Like, you can barely see this one in gameplay, honestly.
I quite like it.
Yeah, I'm good with that. And then the third one gives him this skull on his belt. Because this is the variation where he can summon, like, zombies from the Netherrealm to strike for him.
I don't know why they ever thought Scorpion needed that as a function.
Well, if you're gonna come up with 3 variations, the Death Stone from Malibu is a valid choice, I feel.
You know, when you put it that way, fair point. I don't have any problems with this one.
I like his face. I think they did a, like, good job, like, because this is the first time we've ever seen what he looks like unmasked, other than in MK1 it was just Dan Pesina, white guy with short hair in his fucking arcade ending.
Finally, we fixed that.
Yeah, this actually looks like a Japanese man, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, Scorpion should always have like a mustache beard combo going on.
Yeah, this is
underneath.
A good look. This is a good look. This is what I expect a middle-aged ninja to look like.
I feel like at the very least, a mustache. I don't know about always a mustache. I feel like Hanzo suits a mustache.
I would go full beard. I think it's not the 1970s anymore. Mustaches by themselves look very weird to me. On anybody, ever?
It depends on the type of mustache.
Unless you're Jax.
Jax can pull it off. Jax looks good with a mustache.
I don't know, you guys.
It depends on
Bearded
facial structure and stuff like that.
Bearded Scorpion, bearded Sub-Zeros.
See, I've never had a problem with it. I get that other people are like, oh, there's too many guys with beards. No, I think they all look good.
No.
Not Kenshi. Not Kenshi.
I like Kenshi with a beard. It doesn't have to be all the time.
I like old Kenshi with a beard.
Like, yeah,
Kenshi with a beard, I'd run scream.
If you're doing Deadly Alliance, I wouldn't add a beard to Kenshi. But for an older Kenshi whose son is grown up, I love the beard. I'm all about the beard. Because Kenshi is Keanu Reeves. He needs to look like John Wick when he's older.
I'm very selective about my beards. I do not.
You're breaking up.
Bearded smoke. None of them. None of them with beards. Please stop the beards. Stop the man.
I like a good beard. So this costume, way less belts, much more toned down, and just kind of a plain classic Mortal Kombat ninja compared to the primary.
I honestly don't have a whole lot to say about it.
Yeah, this is just
it's
nice.
a very good
just
functional
nice
outfit.
I kind of enjoy that he's got like actual cargo pants. Like he bought these at a store or something, and then added them to his ninja. Yeah. It's functional and like practical. And then like there's nothing on the yellow V, like there's not a bunch of belts. I think this like I don't know, caution stripe on the edge is kind of a neat detail.
Cut yourself on that edge, brah.
I like it. I like the rope around the belt. That's very like.
It's all very understated and very functional. It's got form and function. It's good.
Like, you know, because one of the things I like about when they do it is that the Lin Kuei should look more modern. like, oh, all of our armor is made out of molded plastic, and it's the hot, the latest stuff. We all had it custom made, and it cost a lot of money, and it's like...
And you like the Shirare to be more traditional and old school.
Yes, they're very like still steeped in tradition, wearing the same stuff their ancestors wore, and that's what we've kind of got going on here with this like laced together wood for the gauntlet. I think that's a nice touch. I do kind of wish there were two of them. Like I wish his wrists were not asymmetrical.
Strapping those biceps the same way his ancestors did.
Look, Scorpion has been wearing bicep wraps since MK2. It is a thing. He likes it.
It's always been a thing. It's just my running joke for the night.
But yeah, I think of the canon story costumes, this is the best Scorpion of the three that we've looked at so far.
This makes me actually want to see a take on this, but just with an MK1 hood and mask, you know?
Yeah, I could go for
that. It'd be really cool.
Don't like how teeth are modeled in this game. Don't like it.
These ninjas.
Stop doing that. Next costume.
Okay,
they go to sleep. Everything's fine. Everything's good.
Yeah, this is
Red Sun. Wake up on fire. Oh God, no.
This is what we get. This is the fucking Red Sun Superman costume.
All right, Halloween.
You know, I think we could cover everyone else if we just skipped most of Scorpion's outfits.
Well, so I want to speak to the fact that this is sort of the same concept as MK9 Scorpion, but in every way where that one was kind of a failure, this one succeeds for me. Because if you're gonna have like this bug chitin motif, I would rather it be on the yellow parts than on the black parts. Because now it actually looks like bug shit and not just the leather got cancer, you know?
It's still bug shit, and I can't stand it now.
I mean, it is like kind of a cartoony exaggeration of like you just took his name and covered him in it, which is not how Scorpion ever dressed in the Midway games. He like his motif was ninja, and then when you brought the hell stuff in, it was always like belts and spikes. It was more heavy metal. Whenever you put, like, hell stuff on a ninja, that's what the old Scorpion was. And then starting in 9, he had to look like he's covered in fucking scorpions, or that he's a big human scorpion man. You know, like just superhero shit.
I'm gonna put it to you this way. If Mortal Kombat had been part of the DC universe, at the point where the New 52 came in, this would be his New 52 outfit.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. This is literally designed by Jim Lee, who designed the New 52 versions of the Justice League and everything.
Exactly.
But the thing is, I just think it's interesting that, like, Jim Lee... And I don't usually like Jim Lee as a costume designer. Like, I think the only good outfits he's ever designed were the 90s X-Men. Like, I kind of hate his DC work.
Yeah, I agree.
But... Again, this is better than 9. Like, this is taking the idea of his 9 outfit, and this is actually somehow, like, toned down from that and less cartoony and more logical.
I don't know if I'd agree with that. I'm looking at it in a void, and I'm squinting, and, like, I can at least see the vaguely recognizable Scorpion here in terms of the yellow V being present. Him having a
Okay, but this is like... This is recognizable, but ruined.
I can still look at it and kind of see
is like...
When I look at this, I feel like I'm... You know what? If Kamen Rider fought this, it would work.
Sure. The thing is, like, I don't want to see, like, oh, I could recognize him, but he's absolutely fucking tainted and ugly now. I would rather... Like, I don't think either of these should be canon. Neither one should be canon. I'm just saying, as an alternate costume, as a what-if, goofy, I'm just doing fan art thing, I would rather this. Because it doesn't look as ugly. Just aesthetically.
I honestly don't know if I'd agree.
Guess to each their own.
It's better than Jim Lee's Sub-Zero, that's for fucking sure.
Oh yeah, the Sub-Zero and Raiden in Injustice are an absolute nightmare. Just the ugliest shit I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Yeah. We've already talked about the skin. Move on. Move the fuck on. I just
wish, because the mask,
they got the mask wrong. We know.
Mask shit, square shit, we know.
Why are you in such a hurry?
Yes,
because look at all these costumes. God.
Click that. Oh, why'd you do that?
Smoke Man asked for this. Smoke Man did this, okay? This was his choice.
Yep. We already talked about
okay, much better.
Yeah, but I just think it's goofy.
We did,
like,
but it's nice to see it again.
I just how big his eyes are. It's
yeah.
It is an objective improvement from what we were just discussing, one way or another.
I mean, he's still wearing the beak mask.
It's still better.
Okay, so that's all the scorpions. We are no longer covered with them. We've got them off.
Alright, good shit. Bat Pope. Na Bat Pope.
So, we talked a lot
I hate this costume.
We talked a lot about this costume during story mode.
We did.
The only thing that I could really say that we didn't already say is that I really prefer in 11 where they changed the cowl into a helmet.
We talked about that.
It looks much better as a helmet. But yeah, I don't need Shinnok. I don't want to see his fucking ribs or his fucking skinny old man arms. This is gross to me. This is not... Nobody asked for this, alright? Now this...
Razor?
Yeah?
He left the call.
Let me know when he's back.
My PC shot itself. Good times.
Okay, I don't know. How much do we want to say about this that we haven't already said? Nobody likes fucking Shinnok with his shirt off. This is not the image of the character that we had in the 90s. And it's not an appealing image because he's supposed to be old and scrawny. And it's just like, what is the...
You don't like buff Palpatine?
He's not buff, though. He's not buff.
I know.
I don't like that they gave him his own little Quan Chi tattoos that are faded on his arms.
Yeah, those are weird.
Those are barely even noticeable.
Okay, let's see what we got for... Okay, so the variations... Yeah, the red... So here's the thing, and this is true...
Red helps it a little bit.
Here, if I may. Both this costume and his alternate... all like the bluish green that he wore in Mythologies and MK4 have been taken out of it. So with red gems, you don't have any green at all, and that's not Shinnok to me. Like, at least this way it retains his usual color scheme. This is a little...
I don't think of green
I gotta
first when
say,
I think of Shinnok.
I gotta say, the gems on this costume are fucking weak.
I think... I don't know. I think the all, like, the gold around them is too busy.
Birds to live by.
I think, you know what? What I would have done is that, so we've got this, like, arrowhead shape to most of them in this outfit. And honestly, if you turn that upside down and make a few small modifications, you have the Brotherhood logo. So why not just do the Brotherhood logo?
Because it's wrong in this game, Razor.
Yeah, they did it with Quan Chi's face. Why not do that? Why not do it right?
Quan Chi is the face of the Brotherhood of the Shadow. I don't know what you're talking about. Who is this guy?
You don't have to shitpost all the fucking time, all right? You don't have to play along with their shitty fucking games. Don't defend the developers, even sarcastically, all right?
What's with
What
this
actually
fucking...
bothers me about this thing more than anything?
What's with the tentacles on his belt buckle?
Those
see
are...
that?
Yeah, you know, there is kind of like a Cthulhu design going on with some of his, like, graphic design work, especially on the belt buckle there.
I don't even really see a Cthulhu thing. I just see a series of ridges. And, like, I just see Scorpion's spear all over his loincloth. That's the thing that bothers me about this entire outfit. Just zoom back a bit. It's just how much of, like, your typical MK Ninja V thing is going on here.
Yeah, it
feels
that
really
always pissed me off.
It's that
really
whole
derivative.
thing of, like, when you can't think of an idea for a character's costume, just put a Ninja V on them, and that's Mortal Kombat in a nutshell. And it's so lazy.
It really is.
I hate that shit, because they do the same thing whenever they like try to like take like in Injustice or versus DC. Whenever they're like, how do we make a character or like a guest character? How do we make them look like a Mortal Kombat character? And it's put a Ninja V on them. You know, give them
Enjoy
a
the T1000 in a couple of months' time, folks. He's gonna be Chrome.
Shut up.
You know I'm right.
Shut the fuck up.
You know I'm right.
You don't You don't have to encourage this shit.
You know I'm right.
I don't care.
I do want to.
I don't want to hear it.
This belt buckle. Now that you point out these tentacles underneath the jewel, it does look like a squid, and it's like, what does that mean? Because there's no squids in the Netherrealm. There's nothing squids about Shinnok's.
Well, there's that
usual
aesthetics. There is that tentacle thing under the Bridge of Immortality that you have to run past in mythologies, but I don't see how that would particularly be important.
Like, I could see, like, if you were to start trying to depict imagery of the one being as like, something eldritch from outside the universe. But even then, that doesn't work, because he's not from outside the universe, he is the universe.
And I've always maintained that, like...
Not to mention, Shinnok would fucking hate the one being.
Well, he wants to bring him back and
he wants to be the one
everybody.
Being. He wants to be all nom nom nom.
I think so. Like, some of that is the influence of the second Legacy or the Legends movie. Battle of the Realms kind of gives you a Shinnok who wants to become one with the one being the way Onaga did, like merge with him through the Kamidogus and eat the universe himself.
Which I've always really loved, because it's a major step up over Shao Kahn wanting to take over Earth and Shinnok's original MK4M being, you know, I want to make the Earth part of my territory, but I like nihilist Shinnok wanting to destroy the entire universe. That's a good upgrade.
What I'm saying is there are two interpretations of that, because the Legends version is different from the MKX version. The MKX version isn't Shinnok wants to join with the one being, it's that Shinnok wants to die and take everyone with him. He wants the one being to eat him too, because he's just done with it all.
That's what I like.
That's the nihilism. But
if we're going to talk about squid people,
next variation,
I've always maintained that, like, if you're gonna lean into some sort of like squid thing or octopus thing, that's a direction you take Chaos Realm people into, man.
Yeah, I could see that.
Cthulhu, chaos, anarchy, incomprehensible, racist cat names. That's a chaos thing.
I think I want to talk about the variations. So we've got.
He's got a little lightsaber toy on him.
Yeah, Bone Shaper gives him like a magic wand for summoning skeleton hands, which he does not.
It's summoning skeleton like weapons with it.
Yeah, it's like his
weapons made out of bones.
His MK4 spear, but made out of bone. Which I don't think he needs. The interesting thing is that this outfit does not have the amulet on it. His other outfit does. So what I would have done is, instead of this handle on his belt, I would have made the amulet the variation thing.
Yeah, right? Oh, here we go.
Yep.
Yeah, that's...
look at the red in his fucking the sockets. The bones are
Is
coming out of.
is that gore? It doesn't particularly look like gore. It looks like some kind of like red velvet cloth or some shit.
Yeah, that's the same thing I was thinking. It almost looks like some kind of pillowy sleeve.
Whose fucking idea was this?
I don't know.
Interesting that like the tops of his gauntlets, they made sure to design them so that they'd still be there as like sockets for the magic bone hands to come out of.
Oh, Christ. Ugh.
Anyway.
I don't like it.
I can feel the love.
I think this outfit is great from the belt down. Shirtlessness is not doing it for me. Also, these shoulder pads are way too busy and spiky.
I hate the shoulder pads.
I really don't like anything about this outfit and never have. And it's a mystery to me why they brought it back to adapt it.
Why are his hands
Johnny Cage's movie?
Why are his hands decorated with shurikens?
I don't know either. I've always hated that too.
Yeah.
Because the game is MKX, you see.
Okay.
MKX has a couple of good things going on about it.
No, X.
Oh, X is in the shuriken
hands.
space. Okay, I see what you're going for there.
Anyway.
Cool.
Anyway, let's talk about the good costume.
You know, I wish...
Yes, let's!
If he just didn't have these, like, naked armpits... And if there was some, like, I don't know, like, if the material of his pants were more of, like, a dark greenish blue instead of black, then this would be, like, kind of a remake of his MK4 outfit. And
it's closer, so it gets major brownie points from
it already is kind of a remake of his MK4.
Yeah, it's like
that's how I've always looked at it as.
It's close. It's close.
Look at how good that fucking hat looks. Oh my god.
I do like this hat better of the two.
Still prefer the original MK4 outfit, but this one is aesthetically pleasing. There's always something. There's something Geiger-esque about this one.
I do like the sort of spider web decor on his neck here. I think that's pretty cool. I do like the big green gems.
Yeah, the gems are done way better on this costume than the other one. Look at how, like, I can see them on his shoulder pads. They look great. Yeah.
And again,
I love the...
Better.
I like the green better.
I like the red better.
Okay.
I first saw this costume with the red, so it's a little hard to imagine without it, but I still like the green too.
The gem and the amulet doesn't change.
I get it.
So in this one, they all match.
I also just love how the shoulder pads... The shoulder pads are just much fucking better. They almost make the costume, man. I love the way they flare out.
I think I'd like them better if they weren't so gold, which is my only real problem with this whole thing. There's a lot of gold going on.
It's
almost overpowering.
I like all the gold.
There could be a bit less of it. It's stepping over the boundaries of trim.
But it still needs... I think the shoulder pads are perfect for the gold because of that gold shit he had in 4.
I think the shoulder pads work because they go with the webbing on the neck thing, and they match his amulet and his belt. I could do without these like lightning bolty designs on.
Oh no, those suck.
Yeah, like on his V, like on the red cloth. Though that's the gold I would remove, and then it would be more balanced. I think.
What's that even supposed to be? It's just like a fucking shape.
Yeah, again, it's just like MK9 Scorpion. It's just some fucking shape, and it doesn't mean anything, and it's just kind of too busy.
I guess I'm just not sold on the shoulder pads because he never originally had shoulder pads. It now feels like everyone and their mother has shoulder pads and Ninja V's.
No, he did.
Bitch, you're a shoulder pad.
Your mom's shoulder pad.
In MK4,
and I lay my head there.
In MK4, he does kind of have, like, he has... How do I even describe it? It's like...
It's an extended collar. It's not a shoulder pad.
It's like...
His shoulders are past the collar point.
It's like the vest the White Ranger wears in Power Rangers. It's like, it stops at his, like, midriff. But so yeah, I do think that this is an improvement over that. The problem is, so the thing is that like there are elements of this outfit that I really like in terms of like a remake of MK4 Shinnok. Because if you go back to like 1997 and look at MK4 Shinnok,
Doing it now.
it's not a very good. Like he looks like a clown. He looks. It was always kind of a shitty outfit. In my opinion, they had already fixed it in Armageddon. And I would adore it if the Armageddon version of that outfit had come back and was what I was looking at right now. This has a lot of good elements to it, but it's still not as good as Armageddon's version of MK4 Shinnok. That's how I feel.
Well, nah.
I can respect that. Again, I'm looking at Armageddon Shinnok right now. The baggy sleeves really add a lot to that outfit. I miss that wizard look he had about him. MK4 pulled it off, Armageddon pulled it off.
Yeah.
We kind of lost it here. Either way you look at it.
That's my problem. Like, it's because he's got these naked armpits. He's like technically not wearing a shirt. He's got all this kind of like strappy armor stuff that like stretches onto his arms. But like because it's not a shirt, it doesn't have the volume it needs to be like as baggy and poofy as what he was wearing in 4 and Armageddon. And that's,
I want to tickle his ribs.
Yeah. Squid Belt's still here. Still a curious choice. I like the knee pads and the shin guards. We've got more of that like webbing sort of. It's almost like a sinewy muscle and veins kind of thing. Definitely fits like the nature of the Nether Realm as being like undead and gruesome.
Almost. They're
the
a bit
knee
too
pads,
angular and straight.
The knee pads almost seem like giant eyeballs to me. I think that's kind of cool.
I think the knee pads are the best thing about this thing, honestly, from the knees down.
I like that he's got like a kind of a waistcoat kind of thing going on. Again, I could do without these like lightning bolt-esque shapes. That's a little busy, but everything else I'm fine with. And you know, like this stripes and belts kind of motif of his upper arms, it's very reminiscent of his sleeves in Mythologies, so I think that's a nice touch. Kind of a callback there. So yeah, there are a lot of things I like about it. It's just not quite as good as the one from Armageddon. Also, on a personal note, it bothers me that his eyes aren't neon green.
Agreed.
I do miss that, yes.
Yeah. Like, you just give him the blank white eyes, the same as every other undead character has. It doesn't get across that he's more powerful than, like Raiden has glowing eyes. The Elder Gods should have glowing eyes in, like, the color of their energy, which is usually green.
Yeah.
So, samurai fucking Halloween costume. Not a lot to say about it.
Sucks.
I think it was a weird choice to give Shinnok an
yes, it was.
Samurai Halloween outfit.
I mean,
his face doesn't look right for it.
Yeah.
He almost looks like an Edward Gorey character.
I just like cause every DLC pack was 3 characters, and it's like, did you
gotta give Shinnok something?
Yeah, I guess every character in the game has to have 1 DLC skin, and they didn't know what to do for Shinnok, so they threw him in the samurai pack, and it's like whatever.
I mean, you know, there's an MK4 costume you could use, but all right.
Yeah. Well.
Or an Armageddon outfit.
Oh.
Sonya!
Speaking of no green...
Yeah, so let's see. We've got a fucking camo face paint.
Awesome.
Got, this puts the glowing grenades on her leg.
Awesome.
And then finally, we've got some glowing panels on her wristbands.
Wow.
There are no great options here.
No, none of these are particularly ideal graphically.
Back to none we go.
She looks best with no variation at all. And again, I think it's interesting that her arcade ending actually had her in a green version of this outfit, like in the Legends movies. Because Sonya's fucking color is supposed to be green.
What a choice.
I am already falling asleep.
Like, this is a pretty decent outfit. I have no complaints about this outfit if it was in green.
Which bits would you make green? The under bits or the over bits?
All the bits, the whole thing.
All the bits, just shades of green everywhere.
I mean, the undershirt can be black, I guess. Like, I don't know.
I think I would make
pads maybe.
I would make the undershirt and the base pants black, but all the vest and like the pads and the wraparounds, that would be green.
Here's the thing: is that like she's got like, I guess it's like darker, like a black pants. And then the blue part is like a padding on the front of her thigh. And I think that's weird, because when you look at her from the front, it looks like she's wearing shorts over top of her pants. You only notice that it's actually a patch if you look at her from the back. I would have just not done that at all. I would have just had the pants be green, and then you can do like black knee pads or whatever. Like, these patch plate things on her thighs look fucking weird to me. Jacket's great, though. And I like that I guess this yellow rope is like a rank thing that fits with her being a general now. I don't know exactly. It's probably not accurate to the real military. Like, this is almost like a military casual rather than a real uniform.
It looks comfortable.
The special forces in the MK games have always kind of been that way, where it's, you know, it's not the real army, it's G.I. Joe. Let's see what the taunt does.
Did you even taunt with Shinnok?
I did. He makes purple hand glowiness.
I just don't remember it.
Well, you can review it when we post the video. You can watch it back. I know
that's not a request. Also, that was a very lame taunt.
Yeah. I would like some pink energy would be nice. Yeah.
Remember when she was like, "Yeah," and she pumped her fist?
Mm-hmm. Well, she's like 56 now, 58.
I mean, she's still doing cartwheels and shit. I bet a fist pumping is not going to trigger the arthritis.
Looks really good for her age. I don't think they like, even if you don't consult her actual MK1 bio, you have to imagine, okay, she was probably like 25 in the first game, and this is 22 years later. So she's almost 50. That's
26. She's 26 and she's on her way to become the best.
Yes. She was officially 26, but if you were guessing, you'd say probably 25-ish. You know? Because I don't believe they go back and read the bios, you know?
You know that, and I know that.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, if you're guessing, she's probably like late 40s in the present day.
That's what I give her.
This is like Hollywood late 40s. This isn't like regular person late 40s.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't even have any gray hair. I guess she could be dyeing it. Is Sonya the kind of person to get self-conscious about her age and dye her hair?
I'm gonna say no, actually.
Yeah, I feel like
she would not give a shit. She would just let it go gray.
Yeah, she'd be like, so what if I'm going gray? You think I can't still kick your ass? Try me, you know?
Yep.
Anyway, this is the tournament outfit, a remake of her MK9 costume, and basically what they did was they closed up the vest, they put an undershirt, and they added camo to the pants. And these are all, oh, and the boots are not stiletto heels anymore.
I see many improvements.
Yeah, this is like a total net gain, 100%.
It's much better.
Still kind of boring though.
Well,
still needs more green.
Yeah, the problem is color scheme. Like, it's almost greenish, but it's so desaturated that it almost passes for like a gray blue.
That's what I'd assumed it was on first viewing.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't really... It should be, like, a much, like, more green. Yeah, definitely.
On the whole, much better outfit.
Still better than 9, yes. Then we've got what she's wearing at the beginning of story mode. This is her, like, MK4 Shinnok is invading outfit.
Oh, holy shit,
I like
this is a
one.
different costume.
I like this one even better.
Yeah, it is, the color is more greenish, but it's still so dark and desaturated. And, like, I actually feel like it's too plain compared to the one we just looked at. Like, I would prefer if she had been wearing this during the first chapter.
The vest has more detail, but I think I like the black undershirt more.
It's more of... It's
gray.
It's like a sweaty gray. It's like a
what even are colors
gym.
in this game? I don't know what these colors are. Yeah. I can't tell what's what anymore. My eyes hurt.
Sonya is one of the most...
Sonya fucking sucks in this fucking game.
She's one of the most desaturated characters on the entire roster, is what we're learning here. Okay. Fucking Russian Halloween costume.
Mother Russia.
Mother Russia. Totally whatever. Who cares? MK1 retro.
Holy shit, it's a bright green.
You know what? This is the best retro in the game.
Yep.
I think we can all agree to that, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Because it actually looks like it looked in that game. They didn't fuck it up.
They were like, you know what? We can't put a modernized spin on it. It was gym outfit. Let's just put her in the gym outfit.
I just, like, they didn't... Like, she doesn't have any, like Kano had problems with his eye and bandolier that would not change from costume to costume. Liu Kang had to have a headband and wristbands, even though he didn't wear them in MK1. Sonya, they were able to just do Sonya. I mean, she does have, like, her rings are officially laser guns now, so she's got that. But,
biceps, fully strapped.
Yeah, it's really not, like, intrusive to the costume. She is able to look like she did in MK1. Nothing gets in the way.
Collective sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Chinese Ninja Warrior.
So the interesting thing about Sub-Zero's primary here is that he does not wear this in story mode.
True.
And for me personally, like... I feel like this is a Bi-Han outfit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I can't explain, like, exactly what it is, other than, like...
Oh, I absolutely can. It's an aesthetics thing, obviously, as these things are. But so much of his face is covered, it leaves no room for visible emotion at all. There's a sleekness to it. A kind of uniformity and a utility. There's not a lot here that I can actually call busy apart from minor details. It feels like it's all business and no fucking around. Like, scroll down to his belt. It's the knives everywhere. Like,
yeah.
There's so much armor.
Understood why the fuck he has these kunais on his arms.
I think they just didn't know what to do. They, like, said fuck it. And just covered him in weapons instead of having decent wristbands.
Because Kuai Liang wouldn't cover himself in weapons.
Here's my question.
This is the tool set of a guy out to murder lots of people.
Neither Sub-Zero needs knives. They can make icicles. Like, it would actually take longer to draw a knife out of its holster for him than it would to make one in his hand out of ice to stab you with. This is inefficient to be covered in knives for a guy who makes ice.
Oh my fucking god, he has 4 loincloths.
Yeah, he does.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
This is just
too much.
This is too much. This is a lot. And again, all the belts. Too many belts. Why so many belts? Oh, he's got a couple little shurikens in the back there.
I never liked the mask on this costume. I don't know why he's got these belts going over the crown of his head.
Don't know why they felt the urge to just give him a glowing blue strip down the center of his face, rather than, like, have your traditional blue mask. That's what I don't like about it.
Yeah, I've never liked this mask. And why does he have 4 belts across his forehead? Like, what is it? Is it somehow holding it on? This is so busy and weird. But yeah, like, just his face seems, like, angry. I'm not even sure. Like, I have not...
It's the shape of the brow of the cowl.
I wonder if you were to, like, if you could get this model and one of his alt skins, pose them exactly the same, camera angle exactly the same, and lay them over top of one another, I wonder if his facial features would be different. Like, if they literally modeled a Bi-Han face in this skin, and it doesn't match Kuai Liang's face. Because that's like, I can't confirm that's true, but it's the vibe I'm getting. I think
it's just a very sinister-looking outfit, generally.
Yeah, he looks... This is kind of an evil-feeling Sub-Zero. Something is more aggressive and off about it, and it feels
People were actually debating at the first trailers whether or not this was Kuai Liang or Bi-Han. Like,
because the other thing is,
it just looks.
We know that in story mode he got the scar again, and this outfit has no scar, so that doesn't help either.
That's actually probably a major detail that's going through your subconscious right now.
Yeah, but the other thing is
that,
like,
think of Kuai Liang.
Because they made this his primary, he doesn't have any skins called Tournament. I bet this would have been called Tournament, because it looks kind of like it's supposed to be a remake of his MK9 outfit. But of Kuai Liang's MK9 outfit, because the Kuai skin was the one that had the logos on the chest. And this one only has one logo on the chest until you do this. But so this is the Grandmaster variation.
Do I have to tell you what's wrong with this picture?
In Deadly Alliance, when Kuai Liang first became the Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei, the symbol of his rank, the thing that denotes who in the Lin Kuei is the Grandmaster, is that they wear a big magic medallion on that side of their chest that's called the Dragon Medallion. The Dragon Medallion is called the Dragon Medallion because it's decorated with a carving of a dragon, like, wrapped around and eating its own tail. Do you see any dragons on this medallion, sir?
Yes.
Can you show where? Point it out to me.
If you squint, it's like you're looking at a dragon from overhead as he's flying through the air.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys are making that up.
We're tired. We're very tired.
All right. Anyway, here's his other variations. We've got the icy blue arms.
I mean, I like that.
This is actually really good.
I don't hate it. And then we've got Unbreakable gives him a mask made of ice.
An unbreakable mask, one hopes.
Perhaps. I can neither confirm nor deny.
I would not be wearing a mask made of ice on my face.
If he accidentally stuck his tongue out, like would we have like a fucking Christmas Story thing going on here?
Yes.
For the world, cool.
What's interesting to me is, like, the grooves in this ice mask look like it's the shape of the Deadly Alliance mask.
Yeah, I was about to say.
They also look vaguely yellow.
It's
ew.
Well, it's you know, the edges of a thing made of ice kind of go white and, like. Have you ever been eating like a popsicle, and when you suck on it, you suck all the flavor out and the color, and it just becomes like white at the edges?
That's the way to look at it, I guess.
Yeah. I don't normally care for the mask made of ice. I think it's a bit garish, because it's practically glowing. But in this skin, where your alternative is this fucking mask, I will gladly take the ice mask.
Maybe if it was a few shades darker. It's just so bright.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, then we've got my favorite costume, maybe of all time for Sub-Zero.
I love it.
This is, remake of MK3, Deadly Alliance, also remade it, and so it's a remake of a remake on some level. But, like, every time they do it, it kind of gets a little bit better.
I don't know about the forearm guards.
I'm okay with them. They, I think they're the same ones he was wearing in MK9. They might be a little oversized, like, as geometrically, like how they modeled them in this game.
I think that's what bugs me a bit about them.
They might be a little...
They're nice, but... I don't know. I don't know if he needed to have both of those and strapped over.
They are kind of an odd design. It's like a skull with tusks coming out of it. I wonder, like... That imagery doesn't really fit anything that's connected to the Lin Kuei clan, so it seems a bit unnecessary to me, but...
Some sort of outworld mammoth?
Kind of just,
Snow mammoth?
I don't know, that skull looks too human to be an animal. I would have gone with, like, some kind of dragon, or, like, a Chinese, like... Something Asian and, like, ogre or creature-looking. I don't know. But I've always liked, because MK3 just had suspenders with squares, and then Deadly Alliance added this Chinese writing to it.
Do we know what that says?
Oh, I've been told what it translates to before, but I can't remember now. I think it's like words for ice and cold or something like that.
Let me Google it. You keep commenting.
Yeah. I think this is a good version of the scar. Like, it looks kind of, like, realistic for a scar. It's not... like the MK9 version... like, the original MK3 scar was shaped like a big triangle. It was way too thick at the top, and so some games will render it as though, like, a huge chunk of flesh has been ripped out of his forehead, and it's super gaping wide open. And I think that's a little much... Just a slash down his face is what I would prefer, and that's what we've got here.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's the same sort of twisty, following the contours of his cheeks as, like, it was in Deadly Alliance. Although in Deadly Alliance, he was, like... So this is another thing about, like, the fact that this is the wrong medallion. Is that in Deadly Alliance, the Dragon Medallion was, like, artificially making him older and gave him, like, gray hair and more wrinkles. One of the things it also did was turn his scar blue. So because he's not wearing that medallion, he doesn't have gray hair, and the scar is still, like, fleshy red.
I mean, you can point out the problems lore-wise with that particular medallion all you want. My problem with it, aside from all that, is that it just looks like shit and misplaced on any costume you put it on. Here it's off-center. Like,
oh yeah,
in
like
the
it's...
prior outfit, it had that other it had the other main Lin Kuei symbol to compete with, and they were all
actually,
different
like...
heights, and
it
just doesn't look good. It just...
It's turned at an angle. They don't line up.
He looks like is he a fridge to put magnets upon? That's what this looks like.
It's off. It is definitely off.
Okay, so those symbols. First symbol on top is ice.
Okay.
Second is dragon. Third is possessive word. So the whole thing basically translates as ice dragons.
All right.
Bitchin'.
Like the ones that he rides in his ending.
Exactly. Shave your beard or rule the world. That's all
I mean,
gotta say
that's
about
like
face.
the dragon medallion. That makes sense. Ice dragon, and then he's got like a dragon on his belt thing here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall, I've always really liked this outfit, and I think, like, I thought it looked silly in MK3 back in '95 because there was a lot of like spandexy, like Cable X-Force elements to it that didn't quite come across. And as they've brought it back at Deadly Alliance in this game, they've sort of you know, let's make the pants baggier and more like pants. Let's, you know, add some, like, armor to the wrists and shins and not have it just be, like, some, like, spandex strips wrapped around his fucking arms and legs. They've, you know, really sort of, like, matured it and made it more fully realized as something that fits into the MK universe.
I almost looked at the MK3 outfit as training gear. That's why it was spandex, because it was.
I don't imagine a ninja clan trains in aerobics outfits the way Sonya does.
I don't imagine military officers run around in spandex the way Sonya does. Spandex is part of the combat, and you will respect
Look,
it.
have you...
But anyway...
I'm not going to.
I demand it.
I
demand it!
I've seen
demand your mother.
I've seen what the American military wears when they're exercising in boot camp, and it's like just normal human American pants and tank tops.
And they are wrong, and it should be spandex. Okay. And this is why China will rule your nation in 20 years. Okay, no. Anyways.
Alright.
Revenant,
so I don't approve of the idea of Sub-Zero being a Revenant? Wait, this big column of spine armor is kind of like...
Okay, you know what? I actually really like the column of spine armor.
I think it's amusing.
Because I feel like...
Quan Chi, like, looked at Sub-Zero and went, "You like to rip spines out of people, right?" That's your thing, right? Spines, right? You like spines? Here's a spine for you.
Maybe. I like to think that it's actually, if I can headcanon it a little bit, that when he put them back together, he had to, like, I don't know, zip them up somehow. Like, it's that last missing link to his old cybernetic body. They're slowly getting all the metal crap out of him, and that's the last remnant of it.
The thing is, though, we know that the way he makes revenants is that he grows a new body from scratch in that pool of blood, so he doesn't need to worry about the cybernetics.
But the MKX comic showed us that he pulled him apart and put him back together again.
Boy, I remember talking about this during story mode.
The comic version sucks. I like the pool of blood way better.
Depends. I could take either.
Anyway, you know what? The MKX Mobile has a version of this skin where they added a hood, and they turned it all black, and they called it Noob Saibot. And I liked it. As a Noob Saibot outfit, this would be perfectly serviceable. Totally fine. So what that tells me is that aesthetically I don't really have any problems with this design, although I do think, like, now that I'm looking at it, he's got, like, Bryan Singer's X-Men padding on the like, the undershirt and his legs. That seems unnecessary. This is too busy. I don't need that. But, like, everything else about it...
stripes, I guess.
Yeah, everything else about it, like the belt and the Ninja V and the little, like... He's got belts just like Scorpion does on his shoulders.
Yeah.
That's
interesting.
Oh, he's actually wearing matching bicep straps.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's actually
character in the game.
Symmetrical for once. But yeah, like, another thing I think is interesting is that look how tall his hair is in this skin.
I actually really like it. Like, it makes him look like. Actually, you know what? I could actually see this as like an outfit. You're right.
I think
the hair, the sleekness of it all. There's a sleekness about his head in particular, and the mask. It does look good.
Yeah, like I like the set. I like Huai Liang with like tall hair.
It's very John Turk.
And granted, like, so this is an older Sub-Zero, and his hairline is slightly aged, you know? Like, it's not like he's going bald, but like, every man, even the ones who get to keep a full head of hair, it still goes back a little bit in the corners. So this does show age, but, like... But yeah, like, when I think of Kuai Liang and the hairstyle he should have, I think of it, like, tall and, like, it's almost like a spiky thing. Like, it's very, like, poofed up like a Japanese delinquent, kind of like the high schoolers of the 80s. With their pompadours and whatnot.
I don't know that I'd go that far, but I understand.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not exact, but it's in the ballpark. But yeah, that's kind of like that's sort of how I picture Kuai Liang. But yeah, I totally think, like, you just put a hood on this and you turn it all black, and it makes more sense as a noob Cybot, because...
It does.
Kuai Liang never needed to be an evil undead guy. We already have a dead Sub-Zero who works for Quan Chi, alright? We didn't need two.
So your problem with it is that you don't like the concept behind it.
Yeah, just the story of it. The outfit itself is fine.
Zoom in on the belt.
Not really.
That's a shape. That's a...
It's a shape. I want it to be something, but it's not anything.
Yeah, it's not anything.
I think I saw Dairu wear that.
It's not
it's
anything.
A nice shape.
It's the same problem as all the, like, metal greebles in it, 11 and 12. So yeah, I could do with a different belt buckle. Something that actually looks like something.
Pin guards. Functional. Minimalist. I like them.
Yeah, they're not too busy. The shin guards are fine. I'm okay with that. Yeah, let's see. Next we've got... This is fucking Red Sun Superman shit.
Next. Anteater mask next.
I really wish they hadn't called it Tundra. Like, I get it. That's also, like, a cold, wintry environment, like where Russia is, but...
But it will make people think that this is something he actually wore.
When applied to Sub-Zero, that word means something. So yeah. And we've got this.
Yep. Seen this.
Yep.
Seen it. Yeah.
Man, you really want to go to bed. Blue steel.
I'm gonna bite my tongue.
Scorpion, but blue.
I'm gonna bite your mom's tongue. Yeah.
Takeda.
Do we have to?
Yes.
Okay.
So I like Takeda. All right.
I don't.
You know what I think is let's talk about the parts of this I like. I like the shoulder pads because they've got the little ropes in them, and that makes them look Japanese ninja. Like, that's something that's sort of... Because so much of this outfit it's basically Raiden from Metal Gear, right? Because the bit is that his dad dresses like Solid Snake, so he dresses like Raiden. You know, the fucking Jack the Ripper. The one thing I don't like is that underneath the shoulder pads, he's got these weird V's of metal sticking outward. What is the point of that? That's not good.
They look like clams.
Actually, you know what? Let's go back real quick, because we did look at Sub-Zero's taunt.
Thank you.
Alright, he makes ice on his hand. Then he crushes it.
Whoa.
A lot of crushing going on.
Alright,
I like crushing.
Back to Takeda. What's his taunt? Okay, he pulls out the whip. Makes the spikes come out.
Grunts. Looks like he just took a rewarding crap and puts it back in.
You're so mean to this fucking character.
I don't understand. Be over the top about it.
I don't know why you're jumping in front of the bullet for Jackie, but shitting on Takeda.
Yeah, right?
I'm not jumping in front of the bullet. I just think she's generally better executed.
You called us racist for not liking her, bro.
I was fucking joking. I was fucking joking. My God. Keep going.
Anyway, yeah, we've got the whips and the spools. Those are fine.
Yes, if you like whips and spools on people.
The back armor is a bit much, maybe. You know, the one... I don't know. I generally like this outfit. I think it does what its aesthetic is going for. I only have 2 complaints. The first is that the Shirai Ryu logo that Takeda wears. Scorpion was not the leader of the Shirai Ryu before he died. He was just a member. The Shirai Ryu wasn't a clan of all Scorpion-themed guys, okay? That was only Hanzo. Now, you could make the argument that, like, well, he didn't invent a logo until after he came back from the dead and became the Grandmaster. Maybe that's what's going on. Okay.
I don't know if Scorpion would do that.
Yeah, it seems a little weird for him to do. But even if that is the case, I want to point out that this Scorpion logo has kunais for the front pincers, instead of having the kunai be the tail of the Scorpion. Which is super missing the fucking point, right? He's named Scorpion because the kunai is the stinger that he throws at people. The rope is the tail. It wouldn't be his hands. And the other thing is, I think this black shape underneath the Scorpion looks like a frog. And I don't know...
You're right, it does.
Like,
That's
why is Takeda wearing a frog logo? The other thing is, so there's a color balance problem here.
Yeah.
He's got a proportion balance problem. His legs are fucking tiny in comparison to his goddamn horrible, awful, gigantic bicep patches, whatever the fuck those things are. This whole thing looks like shit to my eyes.
Okay, so the color balance problem is that he has yellow stripes on his legs and none on his upper body. And the reason this bothers me so much is because if you look at the concept art, he totally is supposed to have yellow stripes on his torso, and they just fucking forgot. How do you make a mistake like that, man?
I don't know. Like, personally, it's just a lot of gray for me. Like...
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
Like, I get that it's trying to be, like, Raiden, but, like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of, like, the shape on the backs of his hands. It feels a little random for like, the little slits in between the yellow.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it's too evenly spaced to be battle damage, but it looks like it's trying to look like battle damage.
Go through the variations.
Okay, so this one gives him the mask.
I'm not a big fan of it just being like metal, like just metal gray, you know?
Yeah, I think it should be gold.
It should be gold. It is gold in 12. That's an improvement.
Yeah. Well, I think it's bright yellow plastic in 12, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
It's still, you know, something.
Yeah.
It's still... I'm glad that the skull mask is, like, base Takeda design kit.
Yeah. Okay, so this one gives him fucking,
Christ Jesus.
glowing on the whips.
They're tubes that shoot nacho cheese.
Yeah, it's too orange to pass for, like, superheated metal. It's, it definitely has sort of a... Especially when the glow dies down and it's just orange. And then this one adds the lightsabers on his wrists.
No.
It looks like Nerf gun pellets.
Yeah, right?
They do.
Right? It's like a foam handle of some sort.
It's odd how, like, short they are.
Ew.
Yeah,
They look so ugly.
Anyway, let's look at the alt costume, because I think this is the better of the two.
Oh god, easily by a large fucking margin.
This does
I can actually look at this thing.
Yeah, now he's an actual ninja and not like a military guy.
See, this actually looks like a combination of tech and traditional ninja aesthetics that I can believe in. That I can actually look at this character and I can understand that this is a guy that actually came from both the Special Forces world via Quan Chi and from Scorpion's world. This is a successful mix of two worlds coming together, which is what this character is supposed to be out. The prior outfit is a piece of shit imported from Metal Gear Solid. There you go.
Fair enough.
I'm capable of enjoying this character when he looks good.
I would suggest that what they should be doing is that this look should be the default Takeda look and everything, and that the other outfit should be something that you can do for like a just for fun alternate that does not necessarily appear in story modes. That might be the more comfortable solution.
I would take it. That's the thing. Like I can look at Kung Jin and I can look at Jackie and I can look at Cassie, and they all feel like they come from their origin worlds. That's not a thing I feel like I can do with Takeda's primary, but here it really does work.
You know, the one complaint I have is that the face paint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
It's kind of distracting that it like comes from one eye, and that there are no other stripes on his face, just this one stripe by itself.
It's like he started camo, but he gave up.
Yeah. Yeah, it just seems weird and unfinished. Other than that, yeah, I think this is the better outfit. Another thing I might suggest is that, so if you notice, like the ribbon hanging off of his belt is a different color than all the rest of his belt. Like it's
that
gray
should be
instead
like
of black.
Yellow.
Yeah, like.
Well, what I would
like,
suggest. So, in my opinion, when you're doing like the next generation of a palette swap ninja, so like Scorpion is the ninja who wears black and yellow, right? That's his thing. If you're going to have like a protege to any of the ninjas, then you need to add a secondary trim color. So, for example, I would say that what Takeda should be wearing is black and yellow and a little bit of white. Just to, like... so that you could, if you wanted to, put a hood on him without having people confuse him for Scorpion. They know, oh, this isn't Scorpion, he's got the white, that's Takeda, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If you add a third color, it helps with that when these ninjas especially are known for their color schemes. Then we've got
Mad Max shit.
Mad Max shit.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Wow, I forgot.
God.
I forgot how fucking awful that is.
Oh, I can't defend
Oh my God.
this in any way.
Oh Jesus Christ.
This
Well,
is
look at
not
a couple of-
ideal.
Are those cinematic film reels on his back?
Maybe. They might very well be.
What the fuck is this?
They're definitely like they wanted the spools.
It looked like
and
some kind of fucking car part.
They wanted the tubes to look homemade. Everything needs to look like it's been scrounged and scavenged in this Mad Max Wasteland thing, and like.
Well, that saved it. We can all go home now.
Yeah, we don't have to look at this anymore.
Yeah.
Just Tanya. And this is the
I like
improved
it.
version. This is not the story mode version.
We didn't talk about our laugh at Proto Tanya anywhere near as much as we should have. Because my God, that was terrible.
It wasn't great. So yeah, they made some changes to the shape of her hair and face. They blanked out her eyes so they look like they did in Deception.
I really dig how exaggerated and long her bangs are.
Yeah.
I've always really like Tanya did not start out with this like Cleopatra theming to her haircuts. Like that started in Deception. But I think it really looks good on her. And in the concept art they tried some other things. And in MK12 they try another thing. And I don't like any of it. I think Tanya should always have the Cleopatra bangs.
Agreed. I also really love the like pattern lining on the top here.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, I guess Egyptian inspiration in this outfit, like the jewelry or the necklace.
What's
that
she
taunt
doing?
Sucks.
I think
she's like.
I think she was just stretching her neck.
Yeah, she's stretching her neck and like stretching
boring.
like the back of her shoulders and shit.
But like, it looked like she was actually having neck pains or something. She was grimacing.
Yeah, it was kind of odd. So let's see, we've got the Todfas.
The Kobu Jutsu.
I don't know why this
It
exists.
pleases me that they brought those back from Deception.
Then we've got the Pyromancer, which is her classic MK4-ish moveset. Gives her glowing tattoos for some reason. So, I don't know why she... I guess the reason she has this as a variation is because they almost gave her a polearm in Deception. Like, if you remember, one of her fatalities is that she sticks a weapon into you, and then you, like, slump forward as though the weapon is propping you up off the ground, and you can't fall all the way down. And she does it with her Kobujutsus in the finished version of the game, and they're too small for it to make sense, and it's just a weird, janky fatality. And the reason it's like that is because there's video for pre-production that she was going to have a pole arm, and that fatality would have made sense because you were being propped up by a pole.
A reference to something absolutely nobody playing this game would have gotten.
Yeah,
I've been following the series for years.
I never even understood that.
Yeah, like, I'm the only person in the world who gets this reference.
I had forgotten about it completely.
I don't even like...
I don't think I've even seen that fucking fatality you mentioned.
I don't even like this moveset.
My question is, why would you give Tanya any other weapon apart from the Kobujutsu at this point?
Well, because they had no idea what to do.
There was nothing wrong with the Deception Kobujutsu. She was fine with those.
And she already has them, but you need 3 variations, Shad.
Hey, make her hands glow purple or some shit. I don't know.
I mean, they did that with this shit.
Make her glow elsewhere. People glow elsewhere all the time in these variations.
Here's the thing is that I would never play Tanya in any variation other than Pyromancer, because that's the, like, I don't think she needs weapons. The fire is so much more interesting.
She was tossing boomerangs from day one.
But
I'm okay with her having something curved.
But if you have to have a weapon, like, at least this has the pogo stick moves, and those are funny.
Yeah.
Now imagine how much funny they'd be if Sindel was doing them.
That's the argument I would make, is that the pogo stick amused me.
I generally agree. I don't think the Kobujutsus are that interesting.
I've never really bought into the idea of the Kobujutsus, because to me it doesn't feel like they were coming up with something for Tanya's character. It feels like they played Soul Calibur and went, I like Talim, can we have our own Talim?
No, to me it was more of a matter of...
It's just straight ripping off.
No. To me it was more a matter of, she had a boomerang. How do we do something curved that she can maybe toss around, which they never did?
Yeah, that's the thing. They've never given her moves where she can throw these like a boomerang.
And it always feels like they should have, but they didn't.
Actually,
so
she did. She does have. She can boomerang them in this game. It's true.
Oh, good. There you go.
But even then, I'm looking at these and I'm like, how the fuck? How is that even?
Yeah,
a boomerang?
I don't actually buy that these would come back to you if you threw them. They don't have the right shape for that.
Like,
I hear people can't actually produce ice with their hands.
What? I don't.
That's a straw man argument, my friend.
I'm not as selective as you are about my mythology bullshit. I'm willing to buy throwing random bullshit go and having it come back.
At any rate, as far as the outfit itself goes, I like... So the main thing I like about this is that they brought back the sarong around her waist from Deception.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, everything about this outfit is pretty much new.
You know?
And
the pattern on it kind of reminds me of the pattern that's on her MK4 torso.
Yeah. I think it was on there on the Deception one too. I'm not sure.
It might have been.
But yeah, so that's like a returning element, and like everything else, like... Yeah, she has like MK4-ish patterns in the yellow on her gloves. So I do appreciate
Oh wow,
that.
yeah, I see that too. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. The thing is that like this is like it's a new costume, but it's in keeping with the motifs of her previous costumes. And
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
really nice.
and obviously like nothing about it is too busy. Like it's just like black leather with some gold stripes. And it all works. It all makes sense. It's attractive. It's simple and not too busy. They did a good job. They didn't fuck it up. Which is
Nice.
so rare
Also,
that like they understood the assignment, you know?
I really like the necklace too.
Yeah, the necklace is that like again, it lends to that like she's got kind of an Egyptian thing going on these days that's sort of new or has gradually evolved from game to game because she didn't originally start with that in MK4, but it works for her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually like Tanya's one of my favorite characters in this game. Like if you look at her gameplay, she has so many like cartwheels and splits and like standing split kicks, and she's very like gymnastic, and I find it extremely attractive.
Gamers.
It's you know, it's like the same reason that I've always liked Catwoman, you know? But yeah, I think
I appreciate that all of her MK4 moves came back, even like the weird like split kick thing.
Well, they didn't quite bring back the old sit on your shoulders and snap your neck 3 times. That's the one thing that I'm missing.
They brought back special moves. That's the important.
Yeah, that's a fatality.
It was MK4 had a mechanic called Bone Breakers, which was a type of throw. And throws are technically a form of special move, at least in the newer games.
What are you fucking smoking? No, they're not. In the newer games.
In the newer games, yes. Like, from the 3D era on, a throw uses your special powers. It's not just a monkey flip.
That's a stretch.
You can't hear these jerk-off motions I'm making,
I
assure you I'm making them.
Alright, go fuck yourself.
Look,
no, we're done. I'm tired. We're finished for the night.
There's only 2 characters left. Stop being a baby.
I have to pee, and I haven't eaten supper. We're fucking done. Have a nice day. Good night. Tremor next time.
Alright, next time we'll do Tremor and Triborg, and then we'll do the concept art, so we only have 1 episode left.
3. I know how long we don't shut up for.
It'll be 1.
You watch.
Alright. See you later, nerds.
Have a nice day.
Oh,